Okay. All right. So, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whichever part of the world you are. My name is Rajesh Nambiar. I am part of the Learning Alliances team. Now, the Learning Alliances team within UiPath is responsible for a couple of programs. So, we run the Academic Alliance program where we work with universities and colleges. We also have a program where we work with various training companies, and um, and then we also take care of the certification program, right? So today we are here to talk about the educator community, which is part of our Academic Alliance program, and learn from them on how they are leveraging Academic Alliance for not just a professional development, but then also how they are leveraging the, the tools and resources that we offer to transform lives of their students, and you know, and also paving way for the for shaping the future of work, which is where we all are looking up to, right? So before we talk about where we are currently, I think we need to look back at the last 10, 12 months, which have been disruptional for all of us, right? While COVID brought in a lot of disruptions into each one of our lives, we saw world market shutting down, we saw the economies going down, we had traditional jobs in a lot of industries being closed. But I think while it brought in a lot of difficulties, it brought in undoubtedly very difficult phase of life for each one of us. It also brought a new perspective of adoption of technology, which we probably would have not seen in before. So while COVID, while the situation did bring in a lot of adoption across technology, we saw a lot of new technologies being adopted across companies, across organizations, and these adoptions would have probably taken 5 or 10 years time. And in the last 10 or 12 months time, we saw companies transition over to a new world, which probably would have never, which, as I said, would have taken 5 to 10 years time for them to do that. And that is disruptional for the industry, from a technology perspective. We saw the rise of AI, the rise of automation. We saw the new technologies being driven as the prime driving factor for the economies and the companies going forward. Now, when we look back at this disruption that has happened, one of the primary things that comes out from a skill ecosystem perspective was the rise of new skills, right? Now, what I mean by this is, as technologies in the last 10, 12 months, a lot of technologies that lost priority for organizations or actually got displaced in the ecosystem, right? The skills related to those technologies became no longer relevant or have slowly started losing importance. At the same time, we saw new set of technologies coming in and taking that space. I'm sure if you have been following some of the World Economic Forum surveys or the reports that have come in, and each one of them actually talk about some of the new skills that the market is looking for. And these are new skills which we probably have not heard back 1 or 2 years back. They were in the prime list of technologies that were growing, but then last 10, 12 months, they've actually come to that to a level where it is now being sought after across the industry. At the same time, when we all were pushed to work from home, when most of the companies had to move their work across to a virtual world, I think what automatically it brought in was a new disruption in the form of automation. The banks that you would have engaged with, the call center executives, the chats that that you may have used during that time, right? Companies were running half of the workforce at that time. I still remember when I used to talk to my bank, the company that the bank that I interact with, the call waiting time was very long, but then later they brought in technology where I could resolve most of the solutions without even talking to an agent. And we saw that disruption. I'm sure each one of you can relate to that, right? And 10, 12 months back, if you were to talk about automation, people would always say it is the future of work, right? It is a future that we predict may come in. But I think in the last 10, 12 months, what has happened for all of us is that it is the new future of work. We are seeing automation, we've seen the adoption. We believe it is right now that we are seeing the rise of these technologies. And together with the new skill sets that are coming in, this opens up a new disruption for everybody in the ecosystem. And when I say everybody in the ecosystem, I mean every single person, right from our students who are in our schools or just starting their college life, out of their schools, the Gen Zs that we talk about, then we have the millennials, then we have the Generation X that I'm part of, and of course the boomers who are, the later half of the IT, who have been late, who've seen multiple phases of their lives growing, right? And what we see here is not just, and if you can if you can go back and ask anyone in these stages, and I'm sure all of you can correlate to, is the disruption that has happened is much faster than what they've done. So if you go back and ask somebody who has seen probably the disruption of cloud computing and other technologies that have disrupted, I'm sure their answer would be that we've seen automation or other technologies rise much faster in the last 12-13 months than what we have seen in the previous disruption stages that they've gone through. And this is a big challenge that we are looking at. Imagine we have that many workforce that is dependent on IT. Then we have new set of students who are graduating and then moving into workforce. It is a difficult time for them because they have to learn new skills. They have to be lifelong learners. They have to continue to pick up those new skills, right? And these are difficult stages of everybody's life that this crisis time has actually exposed us to. At UiPath, I think we've been fortunate to be on the right side of the technology with automation, AI, and other technologies coming to mainstream. We've also seen that growth within our products. And thanks to bigger adoption in the market, not just for our vision of one robo for every person, where we believe a robo can actually take up some of your existing workload and free you up so that you can look at using your intelligence for betterment of the society, betterment of your company, investing your energy or time to other projects that may add more revenue, more impact for your organization. At the same time, we've also seen some of the mundane jobs or repetitive jobs that also getting displaced, and software robots slowly taking up these roles, right? And we understand these are disruptions that are that have happened in a very short span of time, and there is an opportunity for each one of us to actually learn and acquire those skills. Now, while we believe this is disruption in its own nature, uh, we also understand that RPA can actually become not just an employment opportunity in terms of new job roles that come in. So today, if you look at the top 10 jobs, take it for any for the LinkedIn report that came out early last year, RPA developer or RPA architect is among the top 10 jobs in most of the developing countries and also developed nations, as per their report. So which means there are new job opportunities which is coming in because of because of the adoption of this technology. And at the same time, the existing workforce is also looking up to new tools which can help them in their productive to be more productive at their workforce. So we believe the future is not too far where every person in this world will actually have a software robot and can actually be part of our this new world that we believe of citizen developers that that who would be working with our software robots and at the same time using them for some of their day-to-day activities. And parallelly, you would also see um, a different set of workforce primarily helping these organizations adopt RPA. So those are technical skills around RPA that will come in, where you will see developers, infrastructure engineers, architects, analysts, consultants, and other technical consultants coming into play, where they will work with organizations to help get RPA into their organizations, get to see best results, look at ensuring better results for their organization to look at. Now, as I said, each one of these technology, RPA has a big opportunity in this disruption phase, and can also be a hand, can also extend a hand to all those who've been impacted by this crisis time. And keeping that, understanding the opportunity or the potential of the technology, we had we had envisioned to build a program called UiPath Academic Align. Now, this program was built or conceptualized about 2 years back. And the whole idea was to take RPA across to every university, colleges, schools, not-for-profits, and give them the power to first learn and then explore the potential of the software. Today, we are pleased that today we have close to about 500 plus partners across across the geo, across various geos, and each one of them are working at their own space to make sure that the knowledge is made available to all their students, and they are they are able to prepare their students for the opportunities that are there. As part of Academic Alliance, we provide educator readiness session. As a educator readiness session, we provide them the trainings for free. We give them all the skill sets that is needed. We also provide them the courseware, the access to the software. The software access is available not just for the student, not just for the educator, but also for the student. So if you are a student who's part of the Academic Alliance program, whose institution is part of the Academic Alliance program, you can just go in and download the software which can run on your machine, and you can play around with the software just to get a flavor of how the tool works. We also have an educator community. As I said, the educator plays a very key role in our program because he or she is a person who would look at implementing the program at their respective institutions. We also have an educator community where we look at a professor sharing his best practices to others. So today we have professors across various universities and colleges who are using RPA as part of their data science program. We have professors who are using it as part of their computing school. We have professors who are using it as part of their regular IT programs. So, and these are different use cases of RPA, which I'm sure you would have not seen across, with any other technology. And these are good examples, and for people to actually explore, and the community actually offers that opportunity for them to go in and share that knowledge, work with somebody else who's already done that, and take their knowledge, take it to their community or the school or university that they work with. We also do provide a yearly update on all these sessions. So anytime an educator wants to sit through an educator session, they can feel free, they can come and attend these sessions with us. Every student and an educator or the educator is also eligible for a 50% discount on our certification exam. So as you know, the whole idea of, as I've mentioned earlier, the idea of Academic Alliance program is not just to create people or students for the for our workforce or for the ecosystem that we are building but then also to help them create, leverage this technology and see how best they can play around with it, right? So that is it. So if somebody is interested in building a career, we offer them a 50% discount on a certification voucher, certification exams, and any student or educator or any full-time student or an educator can actually leverage this. And all these benefits are offered to a partnering institution at free of cost, right? So if, as long as you're interested, you're committed to offer it, we see your seriousness from your end, the program benefits will be made available to you free of cost from our end. What is more interesting here is, while we talk about the reskilling, upskilling, the ecosystem with which includes people who are who are the students who are just graduating out of the institution and joining the workforce, we also have the workforce who are also getting, existing workforce is also getting disrupted. And we believe there is an opportunity for every educational institution to play a big part in that, not just to help your alumni who's probably been associated with you during undergraduate or your postgraduate programs, but then also to open that door for the community around them to come back to your educational institution and learn. So we also have a lot of universities and colleges that are offering RP as part of their adult education program. So and most of them are folks who are currently working in an industry and are looking at switching their careers into RPA. So we also see Academic Alliance members take lead to see basically take lead, create that positive impact on the society that we are looking at. Now, these are some of the benefits that are available. So there is so there are three pillars for our engagement. One is the student, the other is educator, and of course the partner institution. And today, as I said, this activity does not run in an institution if we don't have an educator, if we don't have an empowered educator that is there, because he or she is the person who helps us drive that engagement. He's the person who envisions what has to happen there. He's the person who actually builds that ecosystem together with his students, and then with the support of his institution. So that's primarily the benefits. And anytime if you are interested in joining the program, feel free to visit our website uipath.com/academic-alliance, or you can drop us a mail on academic.alliance@uipath.com, or one of us can actually answer those questions. I'm there on all social forums, and you can post in a question to any one of us, and we would be happy to answer any of your questions. With that, I think I will stop here, and let me bring in two of our guest speakers for the session. So as I said, today we are fortunate to actually showcase or bring in two of our first early certified professional educators from our community, and they are from two engineering colleges in India. So we have Bhuvneshwaran, who is assistant professor with Rajalakshmi Engineering College, Chennai in India. And then we have Shashi Kumar, who's an assistant professor with Vasavi Engineering College in Hyderabad. So with that, let me stop my presentation, and let me invite both of them to come on to share the video. So maybe Shashi, Bhuvneshwaran, you can start, you can switch on your cameras, and then we can get started with the conversation.
Hey, hi Rajesh. Thank you for the opportunity. Looks like I cannot turn on my camera.
Okay. So,
no,
so maybe
no, I mean to say I cannot turn it on because I'm not the host.
Sure, Shashi. So let me do that first. Let me change that.
Yeah, now I can. Hey, hi everyone. Thanks a lot, Rajesh. Thanks to Darshan for giving this opportunity. Let me introduce myself. My name is Shashi Kumar. I work for Vasavi College of Engineering, which is located in Hyderabad. And I've been working with this college for the last 11 years. My research areas essentially include RPA, primarily very much interested in it, cloud computing, IoT, machine learning, and data structures. I've been teaching these courses for quite some time, but not RPA. RPA is very new to me, as new as 1 year as of now. So my journey with your RPA has been quite exciting, and it was seamless as well. How can I say that is because of the trainings. First of all, the association with UiPath actually had made me so comfortable with my institution as well. And the trainings, the material, the course content that's provided free for access to read and learn has given me quite some good examples of where I can really apply RPA as such in my work life. And then some of my personal experiences with RPA had been quite many as such. Talking about some specific use cases, I use RPA every day to post attendance of my students, which I take every day in class. And the expectation is I'll have to come back and open my intranet application and post it myself. So I consider this as a monotonous work, and then I started adopting RPA for that. Many use cases are there. I'll just quickly go and give you some insight. Moving on, how did my experience of doing just a course, learning this and delivering it to my students and creating a workforce did not really excite me until I myself got certified. So, and thankfully, again, with the academic alliance that's there in place with UiPath, we also get the benefits for faculty, especially, using which I think we have the way to go ahead and showcase the way how we are good at things. And then eventually I started teaching this course to my students, and students, we started offering this for the final semester students. By then already most of the students are placed, they are doing their interns everywhere, and they come only one day in a week to college. But I kind of have found a surprising pattern with my students when I offered this course. So we offer this course as lab cum lecture methodology for the first time in our campus. And then I have seen that the students used to attend only RPA course as well as such. And then they started only showing a very keen interest towards developing bots themselves. And it so happened that these students, once they started learning RPA, they started interacting with their seniors who are our alum, and then both started to work hand in hand and started building applications that could really help me in my daily life at workplace. And there are other use cases are like we done some conferences as such, and then for generating certificates for the participants and dispatching these certificates on time to the participants. All of that is basically done by a bot. And then I also have recently, most of us in India at least, we have this accreditation bodies. So I wanted to apply RPA as such for that. I didn't get a use case till a few days ago, and then finally I found it. And then whatever data we are supposed to upload onto the NBA or NAC platform can all be done with a click of a button, and then you can just have a speechless, seamless sleep overnight, and then the bot is there for you to upload all the content that is expected for the application. So yeah, these are the few things which I wanted to highlight. And moving on, what value have I seen in my students? Yes, students are actually coming back when they were being a part of my class. When I offered them to go ahead and take up the certification, they were like half legs already are outside the campus, and then they just wanted to go and join their jobs. Now they are coming back asking for, sir, can I get the voucher for taking up the certification? Because I've seen in my project there is RPA being used, and my manager is asking me to take that certification up. So RPA is there everywhere, and I also have seen my alum who are like 4 or 5 years of experience, and they switched their profile from earlier they used to work for a BPM kind of a role, and now they switched totally into RPA developers. So RPA is everywhere, and it is the right time for the educators, in fact, to get acclimatized to this technology and start creating workforce. We have a good future there for RPA, as rightly pointed out by Rajesh and the other survey bodies like Forbes and all, who made it evident that RPA is on the growing curve of evolution. And then we are also drafting down proposals to work closely with the government and local bodies, just to ensure that this is a very niche area as such, according to me, and the standpoint of the market as of now, that any proposal you probably put down forward is generally expected to get accepted, because very few people, very few organizations, very few academicians are there in this domain space. So we will actually be having a wide opportunity for getting a lot of consultancy works as well. So I have last few points to wrap up, but I would like to hand over the session to Bhuvan sir as well right now.
Yeah, thank you, Shashi. I think with that, you've actually given a good summary on how you have adopted the technology at your, not just to give the knowledge to your students, but
Yes.
I think you've also envisioned on, empowering every single student for our Robo for Every Student vision. And at the same time, also looking at building an automated campus, right? An automation ready campus where every teacher or your other colleagues can actually explore the power of a bot. Right. I think, Shashi, thank you. Thank you for setting a good context there. And with that, let me let me take this moment to invite Bhuvneshwaran. Bhuvneshwaran, Shashi, you may want to switch over the host access to Bhuvneshwaran.
Yeah, I'm doing that in a minute.
Is there a struggle? I think Bhuvaneshwaran can speak in the meantime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, welcome, Bhuvaneshwaran. I think. Yeah, Bhuvaneshwaran. So go ahead and I think all of us are waiting to hear from you on how. First about your college. What do you teach? How did your journey with UiPath start, and what all have you been doing in the last 12, 13 months with RPA and UiPath at your college? Please go ahead.
Hello everyone. Myself, Bhuvaneshwaran, currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of CSE, Radharakshmi Engineering College, located at Chennai. Apart from my teaching profession, I am also supporting training and placement division for handling various technical sessions for pre-final year students. My area of expertise includes cloud computing, big data analytics, IoT, and currently I'm also involving on automation tools also. I'm very much interested in handling programming subjects like C, C++, Java, Python, and web technology. Okay, today I take this opportunity to thank Rajesh and Basavadarshan for providing me an opportunity to share my views in this forum. Okay, let us start with our RPA journey. Initially, we signed with the MOU with UiPath on April 2019. From that day onwards, we started our automation journey towards UiPath. Okay, once we got signed with UiPath, I got an opportunity to be nominated as a educator for the UiPath community by our management, and I attended 5-day instructor-led program conducted at REC by UiPath Academy. So later, once I got trained on the 5 days workshop, there will be an opportunity provided by UiPath Academic by conducting an RPA Champ 2019. So we give the RPA awareness to all our first year and second year students across branches. So most around 2,000 plus students take up the assessment provided by the UiPath Academic Challenge, and around 1,600 students cleared the assessment. And our college received the top performing partner institution award from the UiPath community. And also I received an award from the UiPath as a top performing academic officer.
Thank you, Bhuvaneshwaran. I think your effort in bringing more of awareness in that ecosystem has played a very important role. And and every time we talk about Rajalakshmi, I think it is we speak about your effort there. Yeah, go ahead. What else have you been doing as part of the program?
During the initial stage of COVID-19, we have no idea how to conduct the value-added courses. We talked with our management, and management approved to conduct UiPath as a value-added course for across branches. And then we can have an idea of, instead of conducting this course for CSE and IT students, since they are having some good knowledge on programming, why can't we go for other non-CSE and IT branches like EC, EEE, and Mechatronics branches? So we run this workshop through online for EC, EEE, and Mechatronics students. So where we get some good feedback from the participants. So at the end of this workshop, we provided some mini project to participants. Okay, they done with taking any web application or email activities on PDF activities. They submitted the bot after a few days at the end of workshop. So based upon the feedback received from our participants, so we are currently approaching our recruiters to conduct a RPA specific hiring for 2022 batch students. So probably this may happen soon, so that we can place the current third year student under the RPA category.
Thank you. Thank you.
So apart from this,
that's a good. Yeah, go ahead, Bhuvaneshwaran. Go ahead and complete.
Yeah, sir. Apart from this, we have an fund received from the AICT for conducting a short-term training program under the heading called as automation. We have several rounds of discussion which tool we have to choose for conducting this workshop. Since we are receiving the fund under the name as automation, but we are not finalized with the tool which are going to run for the entire session. And myself and one of my colleague who is also an UiPath educator recommended UiPath as a tool to conduct this automation training program. We run this AICTE sponsored training program in 4 phases on 6 days. Around 250 plus participants participated, and we received excellent feedback from the participant, and also the participant get benefited with the help of UiPath tool.
I think that's a big, good example of how an educator can help us scale our efforts. So those 250 educators we would have never been able to reach, but then since you are empowered, your institution is taking lead, I think that will help the ecosystem. Thank you so much for that, Bhuneshwar. Yeah, anything? Yeah.
Across from India, from various institutions. After that, I received some certification voucher from UiPath Academy based upon my contribution towards UiPath. I took the examination on December. Before taking examination, I will give some important advice to all the educators. Try to run at least 2 or 3 hands-on workshop for your students or your fellow educators. Then only you can get some good experience about the tool. Okay, the questions patterns are based upon the tools only. So once you get familiarized on all the tools available in the UiPath, you can easily clear the examination in single shot itself. Yeah, after conducting 3 or more workshops, I get some good knowledge on all the activities and the tools available in the UiPath. I cleared the certification in a single shot by scoring around 90 marks.
Very nice. Okay. So in fact, we've had a lot of people struggling to clear the exam, and it's very it's actually heartening to see both of our educators completing the exam on the first attempt, and that too with very high scores. Very nice. Okay.
Yeah. And UiPath frequently changes the question. You cannot depend upon any dumps available in the internet. Okay, my humble advice: don't trust any questions available as a dump in the format in the website. So once you have knowledge on hands-on on all the tools available in the UiPath, you can directly take up the examination. So before taking the examination, UiPath will provide a mock test. So take a part of the mock test. Once you clear the mock test with a good score, then you can go for certification examination.
Perfect. I think that's a good knowledge that you're sharing for our educator community also, right? I think they should take it. Any other activity that you've been doing outside in terms of go ahead.
As an institution, point of view, we generated some automation projects which helps to identify the admission process taken by Tamil Nadu engineering colleges. So we are in the position to identify the cutoff marks based upon across the colleges in Tamil Nadu. The university provides the information in various different formats. So we struggled to collect all those information by using copy and paste. So what we did, we generated a bot which will automatically pictures all the information from the website and put in an Excel file. With some final touch, we get to know how our college will stand for each and every branch based upon the cutoff mark. And also, one top company conducting a coding competition, around 16,300 students participated in that event. So once they release the result, it will be around 10 pages, 10 students in a page. It goes around 1,600 pages.
Okay.
And we are not in a position to scrap all the content from the 1,600 pages. What we did a bot which will automatically captures all the 1,600 pages value and put in Excel. So from that Excel, we get to know how many number of students cleared the coding competition, and we can also identify the position of our college across India.
Very nice. Okay.
So which helps it saves more time for us. As an individual, the UiPath automation helps. During the COVID situation, we are in the position to conduct the laboratory examination through online. Okay, where we need to send the unique question paper to all the students through email, which will be a tedious process since for CSE department we are having around 300 students. Okay, for sending 300 mails individually for each and every student, it will be a tedious process. So what we did, we put all our question paper as a separate PDF file. Okay, we created a bot where it will read the mail IDs and randomly select the PDF file from the Excel and directly send the email to the particular user. So the student at the particular point, they will get the unique question paper and they can solve the question through online.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Good use of the knowledge that is gained. Okay.
Yeah, if there is any requirement related to automation, they will directly approach me to solve within simple steps.
Yeah. So I think you know, for us also it is you know, it is actually a satisfying moment that you know, we've also played a role in not just giving you the knowledge, but I think much beyond that, you know, we've also been part of that good memories that you've created in your campus, not just for your students, but then also for your fellow educators, right? Because I'm sure your other teachers, other educators would have also been struggling during COVID time with online classes and and a bot at their to their rescue would have actually been a big relief for all of them, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I have been working for various top automation tools. I found the UiPath user friendly. UiPath will be very user friendly, and then user interface will be very fine compared to the remaining top automation tools.
Okay. Yeah.
So that
I
makes
think,
me to work more on UiPath.
okay. Okay. No, so that's a good compliment for us. But we would love to actually have you with our community rather than working for other RPA tools. Right. So just moving from. I mean, I'll pose this question, the same question for Shashi and Bhuneshwaran as well. You know, what do you plan to do for next 1 year? I mean, is there something? I know you spoke about placements in your campus, but then
Yes, yeah,
are you looking at
we are
driving? Yeah. Yeah. Are you looking at something else in your campus that you would want to drive in the
yeah,
next
so
1 year to create a bigger impact?
yeah, we are picking up the students from those who are not strong in programming. Okay, since the
Okay.
UiPath will have minimal number of size of coding, so we are pitching the students who are not strong in programming, and we can include all those students in the UiPath community, and we are planning to conduct workshops for all the students. Based upon their clearance of certification examination, we are approaching the total number of certification with our recruiters to call for
Very nice.
specific.
Yeah, very nice. No, because as you know, you are in Chennai. Chennai has all the IT companies, and I'm sure Shashi, you are in Hyderabad. You have even a similar number of IT companies there, and if your talent can locally be absorbed by these companies, I think there is no better satisfaction than that. So Bhuneshwar, just let me just ask this question to Shashi as well. Shashi, what do you plan from your campus perspective in terms of what do you want to do for your college?
Hey, we already started doing this, adopting this from the last year itself. That is not just to probably target the outgoing batch of students, because learning this such a nice tool or software in the late days of their engineering is not correct. So getting introduced the technology of RPA getting introduced to the early entrance of engineering students should be corrected. So what we have done is we already started making the students to have their hands wetted on this product right from the first and second years, and then these guys already started building their bots. And I don't know if I have to say this on this platform, but you know, they also started submitting the assignments using a bot. So I was very happy to see that there is maybe on not on the right context, but they know how to apply the tool which they are able to learn. So going forward, I think we want to adopt this in every stage of everybody's life. That means be it students, be it the college administration, be it the faculty who are having the monotonous works which they continue to do, and probably create a baseline of establishing a bot for every role. In fact, not if not for everybody, at least it should be for every role of and you know, teaching communities somewhere. I think it should all start with the experimentation, should start with academicians. And so I'm so happy and fortunate that I was given this opportunity to experiment of that without investing even a rupee, and getting things done for ease.
I think that's that. Thank you for all that you've been doing. Any thoughts on? I know both of you are pursuing your research, but then any thoughts on anybody that you know on your? I mean, are you looking at using it for some of your research work? You know, if you're working on AI, are you planning to do something around that? One of you, I mean, we can start with Shashi and then go to Bhuvaneshwar and after that. Yeah, Shashi, go ahead.
Yes, indeed. I would like to add upon that as well. I currently pursuing my research in the area of security, cloud security, in fact.
Okay.
And then there is a lot of data which is spread across over different places, and I wanted to pull all of that content into one location. So, but this loading content from different sources was very difficult for me at real time. So what I've done is I've created multiple bots that sit on these systems on which the logs are getting generated, and the bots are going to pick them up at real time and just ingest that data into another application as such, from where I'm starting to read the content and do what I wanted to. So it was a fun journey, in fact, because again, I didn't know that UiPath is a tool which I also gets ingested into the other applications as well. So to name it, I think I've used UiPath with this guy called Elastic. Just name it. It's called. How did I forget that? Elasticsearch, no, Elasticsearch, Kibana, and Logstash. Yeah, ELK stack. Yeah, I was trying to recollect that name. So the data which the UiPath is going to pick up is going to be from the log files, and this content is going to be given as an input for Logstash, and that content is going to in turn be visualized on a Kibana environment. So it all went really well. I was able to do all of that, and I'm probably going to publish a paper shortly.
Very nice. Okay. And Bhuvaneshwaran, in terms of your research, does it align with your research expectation?
Yeah, we have already submitted some couple of proposals to government funding agencies through our doctorate membership. So we're waiting for the approval from the government agencies.
Very nice.
So it also includes under the part called the K&ML. Based upon that feedback received from various experts from what we can say Industry 4.0, our college introduced a new course called as Robotic Automation for the current academic year 2020.
Very nice. So it's a degree program, is it? It's a 4-year degree program?
Yeah, 4-year degree program. Okay. So there are a lot of vacancy if you go through the automation expertise.
Okay. Very nice. Okay. Yeah. And anything else that you wanted to share? I think you've had it's just been 15 or 18 months journey, but then you've had a tremendous journey with UiPath. And we are also thankful that you are among the early adopters of the technology, right? So, and coincidentally, both of you are from India. And you are from 2 distinct cities, which are, hubs for IT industry, right? So while you prepare the talents, you also have a set of talent that can probably come to your campus for placement. I mean, not just for placement, for reskilling, upskilling, right? And that could be something that you can actually explore for that. Yeah. So anything else that you wanted to add as a closing remark? Yeah.
In this juncture, I want to tell one important thing. Based upon the certification clearance in the December 2019, I got some incentive from our management, and they will be nominating me as a faculty 4.0 category.
Very nice. Okay.
So they can raise the salary.
Very good. So that has also helped you in your personal development. I think we are thankful for thankful that UiPath has played a role and our technology has helped you in that. I think, but then the full credit goes to you because it's your effort, it's your learning effort that is actually there. So hope to hear more. Yeah. Okay. Very nice. No, hope to hear more from you, Bhuvaneshwaran, in terms of how your journey goes with UiPath, and maybe a year from now we would love to follow up and check with you on where you currently stand, how many students have benefited from what you've been trying to give to them, right? And Shashi,
currently we already trained around 240 students. They're waiting for a certification examination. For RP awareness, around 2,000 students got trained. As per the educators concern, we have 2 more colleagues completed the educator awareness program. they will take examination in the month of April.
I like the whole approach, Bhuvneshwaran, where you're saying, we'll do literacy for everyone. We'll take the message of what RPA is, we'll take it to everybody and then let them explore it, right? So I like the literacy part where everybody gets to know, right? The second part where you're also trying to create champions similar to you in your organization, because one person cannot shoulder that responsibility, right? So I like that whole approach, and I think we'll also support you to the best, and hope to create a good impact, right? At the end of the day, it is a society that will benefit, and the society benefits. That's the biggest satisfaction that we can actually gain.
Yeah, I'd like to add one small point, because I think I wanted to reiterate on the same thing, and we ended up right there on the point of society. We also got an opportunity to work for an NGO where they all were trying to interact or get the funds which they generally get every year over inland letters till date. So they were trying to post the envelopes to those addresses where they generally get the funding every year to run this old age home. So what we have done is we have created a small implementation using UiPath. Just have taken the entire data which was available in the form of receipt books, and consolidated all of that in the form of a CSV, and then have written a bot to understand out of how many of these contact numbers are really having WhatsApp enabled. So filtered down the list to, I think we nearly had around 800 contact numbers, phone numbers, out of which nearly 480 contacts were having WhatsApp enabled. And then the bot, what it does is it gets fired every day through the orchestrator on their machine, and then it picks the date, compares it if the if the individual have already donated something last year 1 week, going just 1 week behind. That means if I have donated to this orphanage in the next upcoming week, then all of these users are going to get a notification on their WhatsApp saying, you have probably contributed it last year, why not this year? So all of this communication is automated, runs through the bot, and the funds which they generally are used to get are getting all right in time. So we have done the setup in Kakinada. I can name the organization as well. It's Ashram Shravana. We have done that setup, and again UiPath played a vital role. So that way I think I also got an opportunity to do something for the society as well. Again with UiPath, where there is no ask for using the software, we just have dumped the community edition, and it's all working fine.
Very nice. Okay, so maybe as we get to the closing stages, what I think we should actually do as a follow-up is, of course, we want each one of you, both Shashi and Bhuvneshwaran, to actually share your story of how and give some use cases. Maybe if you want to do a video, we can do that. But then let's do a blog to capture this, right? So because the whole idea of these sessions is to inspire more educators, right? We've got 2 champions like you in India. We want hundreds and thousands. And imagine a country that has like 60% of the population that is getting to the moving to the youth stage, right? So between 35 years, and that opportunity of a bot on everybody's desktop, the opportunity of bot helping them in their existing workforce is tremendous for a country like India, right? And I think it cannot happen with me or my team as a single entity, but then we need champions like you to do that. So maybe as a follow-up action item, we'll work on a blog where we would want you to share this your inspiring journey. Also take out the use cases and show it across to the community so that they can also explore more on that, right? And with that, I think I will just, if anybody from the audience, if you have any questions to post, I know we have limited time, but then if you have any questions that you would want to post, you can do that. Bhuvneshwaran and Shashi are available on LinkedIn. They are on Google Scholar, so feel free to connect with them. You can look out for their profiles and then connect with them. Probably if you want them to do an intro session at your college or university, they are there. to actually do that for you. They are here to help the community. They are here to, help us grow that. Yeah, Shashi, you're actually sharing something on the screen.
Yes, I mean, unless if there is somebody who have a question, so wanted to leave this as a closing remark, and that is, as rightly said by Rajesh already, literacy on RPA is something that is needed, essential, and the way to go ahead for the upcoming generation. It will really help, and it is easy. I know the way this also has been the experience with me with my students saying, sir, there is very minimal coding needed, so probably this is not my cup of tea. So, but no, that's not the only side there for UiPath. There is also a coding segment as well, completely. But as educators, we still did not get introduced to it. Maybe that is going to be there in the advanced courses, which we are going to eventually study. So literacy on RPA is something that is necessary for the days to go ahead. And then RPA has got a lot of scope, not just in the UI segment. It has got a lot of scope in doing automation across the different supply chain industry, hospitality, banking, and DevOps as well. So automation is there everywhere, and with the recent addition in the content that is being given through the academies, hyper automation. So where we are also bringing AI and ML to be a part of our development of bots. So that way, students are getting really industry ready. In fact, and RP is doing a very nice job, making students industry ready that way. And then certification is also going to be a feather in the cap for students. The right way of exposing what they are good at and getting their effort certified by the industry as such. And finally, this was the tagline we have been talking about. A bot for everyone is something which I would also like to cherish. End of the day, I know most of us are fans of Iron Man, so I would like to build my own Jarvis as well. So UiPath is going to really help us there. Looking forward for getting connected with any best way in which I can help.
Absolutely, Shashi. Thank you so much for the closing remark. I list a quick question to Bhuvneshwaran. Bhuvneshwaran, if you would want to add. I loved, Bhuvneshwaran, when you shared details about how you are building that ecosystem, and especially with the low code story that we, the approach that we have, and how you are trying to bring non-IT students across to that. So Bhuvneshwaran, maybe Shashi, you can stop sharing, and then, and then we can.
Yeah, we are ready to support all educators if they want any separate session for clearing the certification examination. Myself with Saji will help you out. They need any separate session for
anytime. If we can really help.
So, and then all the materials provided by UiPath will be in a top class.
Sure. No doubt about it.
I come through several.
Yeah, so I think both of them are there for the other educators to look up in terms of getting themselves certified, because coincidentally we just have two. You are the first two that are there, and then we have a few others in Singapore and other countries. In fact, there's one professor from Indonesia whom we'll probably want to feature the next time. But then it was great starting off with both of you, who are our champions in India, and I think we'll continue to support the program's growth together with you. We look forward to actually doing wonders while we not just evangelize the technology, but I think the positive impact that we can bring on the society is huge, right? And together with both of you and other fellow educators who are part of our community, I think each one of us can actually work together to make our own countries proud and take pride for whatever they are, right? So with that, I think I don't see any other questions that is there. Let me thank each one of them who have joined in. Feel free to reach out to any of us. You can look for our website, uipath.com/academic alliance. And then, if you're interested, or if you would want to refer one of your colleges or your friends who are in the academic fraternity, you could actually go in and do that. I think with that, let me thank Shashi and Bhuvneshwaran for both of you. I know Bhuvneshwaran, you have a small struggle with your bandwidth, but thank you so much for patiently sitting through, ensuring that everything runs. And I believe Shashi, you also had a struggle with your laptop just
Yes,
before the
yes,
session,
yes.
right? So
Windows
so
updates.
yeah, but then thank you so much for patiently sitting through this hour, sharing your best practices. We hope to inspire many more educators like you and work together to prepare the world for the future of work. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.